Better. You ready? Let's read, but first we have to announce the last reading, because really it's still 2014. Tomorrow's 2015. Of 2014, I'm going to blow both of them at the same time. Watch.
I go. Oh, Jesus.
Sorry. She puts up with me.
I do.
Here we go.
Ready?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay. So we have the Five of Cups and this card. I like this card because I think it's so easy to change it, to turn it around. It's the Crying Over Spilled Milk card.
Yes, you've had an emotional loss of some sort, perhaps in the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
And this is about getting over that.
Yeah, and it's so easy to
And
change.
Scorpio, though, Scorpio is a sign that's a highly emotional sign. And they're deep.
Mm-hmm.
And they're loyal.
Yeah.
And they cling to their past.
Sometimes they need to get away and be alone.
Yes,
To
they
sort
do.
of do this thing that's going on in this card, which is like this grieving process.
Right.
But they always sort of return. I think
they
it's
do.
just like as
They
long as
do.
you just acknowledge, you know,
Acknowledge all that you have. All the
or
good.
if you have a Scorpio friend, acknowledge their, you know, duress. Or,
Yes.
is that the right word?
Duress? Yes, it's
Duress or, you know.
Sadness.
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Or,
Please acknowledge that this is really going on, and then they just turn around and go, oh, it's all right.
all right, it's all right. And it will be. And you'll turn around and see those full cups
Mhm.
behind you and see all that you have because you're so blessed.
Right. You may not have everything.
No, but it's
you have a
about
lot.
the recognition of your blessings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so the whole year then I think commences with this energy of recognition of your blessings,
Yeah.
seeing what is already there.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's see what the challenge
Yeah,
is.
reminds me of that song. Turn around.
This makes sense.
Da-da-da-da-da.
This is a wonderful card. Oh yes, as your challenge, because it's asking you to die to the old and to bring the new in, and which is what the whole New Year celebration is about. It's about the death of the old and the birth of the new.
Mm-hmm. Well, death is a scary looking card because you see this skeleton riding on a white stallion.
Yes.
Sort of like the Grim Reaper riding through your reading.
That's how they depict also, you know, the coming of the new year is
Yeah.
the death,
Yeah, that's true.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So,
But really, you know, sometimes when this card shows up, it just means, you know, something has already died, such as a relationship or
an old way of living.
yeah, or an idea of what would be. Like you
Right.
sort of it has to die.
It has to. You have to let go.
Because then when this card comes up, a lot of times we'll tell the story of how we shed ourselves.
Yes.
We actually, you know, the toddler that you were in
Right.
photos that your mother cherishes is now dead.
Yeah, the person, actually your body dies constantly. And if it weren't for the fact that your cells constantly die and are replaced, you would not exist.
Mm-hmm.
So life is based on death.
It sure is.
And without death, there is no life. Because
So-
there's an exchange process. Life has to constantly freshen itself. And it can't do that on the debris of the old. That which is decayed and no longer useful to
Right.
you.
So we die every day.
We
a little
die every
bit,
day.
And so do our loved ones. And so if you have an ex-husband who you can't despise or get over, you probably have an old sort of picture in your head of who that guy is, you know, because you look at the old photos, but that guy is dead anyway.
Right. He's no longer there anyway.
He's been replaced by this other middle-aged guy with a paunchy belly and a bald head. So don't, you know,
Don't mourn that.
why should you feel bad about that?
Yes.
The other guy's dead, move
It's
on.
time to move on, is
Right
what
on.
it's saying. And it
Exactly.
is really time to move on. I mean, both of these cards say it's time to move on.
Oh, they both do.
Yeah.
This is the minor arcana death card.
Yeah, it is. And so let's see.
Let it go.
And so,
Up comes in the position of
challenges. I mean, the unexpected part to
unexpected.
make. Yes. the unexpected.
And the position of the unexpected.
So you either have to deal with something on a legal level, you know, that unexpectedly maybe you have a challenge legally.
Mm-hmm.
Even though your challenge is death, it becomes, well, then a legal issue. And so you are dealing with a legal issue as well.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, unexpectedly also, you have to consider the facts in a situation. What are the true facts of a situation to come up with a fair conclusion, a fair verdict? A verdict. Your ability to come to a decision about something unexpectedly rears its head in the month of January for you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the weighing up of facts in a situation to be ultimately fair to everyone, you and the other person.
Mm-hmm.
What would be fair? What's the most fair conclusion in the situation?
Yeah, it also feels a little bit like trusting your own judgment.
Yeah.
Or asking other people for their opinions, because, you know, the unexpected is judgment.
Right.
So, like, you're not exactly sure, because, you know, I'm looking at this death card, and it really, you know, your challenge is change, you know, because that's what death is all about, you know, big change. You know, it's done, so you bury it and you move on. It's very final. So that's your challenge. There's something coming up that will challenge you to really not only put the past behind you, but to bury it.
Right.
And you may want to have a ceremony or a ritual around this, because you know, sometimes you really like doing a cutting the cord ritual or something like that. Can be really helpful, because this is a really serious final card.
Right.
And we had the Chariot in this position
Before.
So it's kind of like gathering, you know, like
The momentum.
Right,
in order to
do this.
To do this, because it has to be done.
And there's a bit of this whole like judgment, like what, you know, like
judge and jury.
Yeah.
You're the judge and jury in something, and or you are being judged, or there is a jury,
or you're judging,
or you're judging.
You're sitting. I mean, we had the Emperor last month, and now we have this Justice card in the position of the unexpected. So you're kind of like sitting there, sort of watching,
right?
And you're trying to decide if you think this sort of fits in with how you think things should be with the Emperor, and then like. You're not sure, like you haven't like thrown down the final edict yet.
But you know, justice, the entire legal system is actually based on spiritual principles, the laws of love, ultimately, whether they admit it or not. And so you have to adhere or have to become the arbiter of
the arbiter
of the laws of love.
Yeah, but there's going to be like this whole big change. Like the challenge is this, you know, I mean, we open the month with like there's crying and tears and like upset.
You're upset.
Or someone around you is upset. So this is like an emotional sort of month. And then the challenge is to like really change and really
an absolute.
Bury.
You have to make that concrete decision to let go of it. And in doing so, suddenly you are...
And I see ceremony with death always. Because to me, death is always about... There's always a wake, there's a funeral, there's a ritual that has to happen.
Yeah, because...
There has to be an acknowledgement. There has to be like, you know, sort of a wake where people bring casserole dishes over.
Right.
And they, they kind of all
And
go.
they commune over food.
Yeah, it's
and
really,
they talk about
it's
the
really
deceased.
happened.
Yes.
This really it's like an acknowledgement.
So that, so it grounds it in a certain reality, even in a communal acceptance of the event.
Because there are witnesses.
Because there are witnesses, yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Ready to move on?
And here we go. Wow. The Five of Swords at the end. So, I see.
Well, I don't think, to me, that there's a resolution at the end. Because to me, and sometimes we kind of see this the same way. We see it a little differently, which is part of the fun.
Yeah.
But to me, this is the card that says you don't see a way out because of the situation at this moment. Only because you will hurt others. And as this, you're sensitive. So I don't know if this 5 really says that you're going to take that chariot forward quite yet. You haven't quite figured out a way to do that without, because I see this card, without really hurting someone. So anyway.
But, now these are upright. But if by chance, and there's a lot of people out there, some sort of court issue comes where you have to defend your position, your innocence, your truth, because that's really, he's wielding the sword of truth, that you win.
Yes.
See, because the 5 wins.
You win at a cost.
You win at a cost. Someone loses.
Yes,
Could be a divorce.
You don't totally win.
No, because it seems like if this isn't a divorce, this is a divorce reading.
Well, you win the battle, but you don't win the war. So there's caution that goes along with this card.
Right, so be cautious.
Be cautious.
Because you may win this particular battle, but you leave your opponent wounded.
And angry.
And angry.
And ready to come back for more.
Right.
So find a way.
Find a way to appease.
Like mediation.
Right, mediate.
Yes.
Because you don't want to create an enemy. You want to win.
Exactly.
But you don't want to do it at the cost of
just snarkiness. Because I always see this as sort of like a smirky, snarky.
Yeah.
Like you want to give it to him, let him have it.
Right, right.
But then in the end, it's kind of like, well, that didn't work out so well, because...
See, because I see the 2, this is the 5 of Swords. Now the 6 of Swords, what happens? Refugees.
Yeah,
So
but even
those 2, I see as then on that ferry leaving, kind of going to more tranquil waters.
Well, I don't see it that way.
So I see them often as just, a story being told.
I see this as a caution card always by Spirit. And I always see also see another caution in here, which is this card, your challenge. Because really you have to put this away. You have to put something away.
You do. You have to finalize something.
Yes. You have to
conclude it.
Yes. You have to actually bury it.
You do. You do. But you win, and that's good. And so, wow.
Wow.
So Scorpio, you're going to have a very interesting January.
Yes,
full
you
of
are.
A lot of
challenges.
Challenges and a deep metamorphosis of turning of that caterpillar into a butterfly.
That's
it's not
right.
going to be an easy process for you. But the best thing to do is to spin that chrysalis around you. And to in that sanctuary, do some real cellular change.
Right,
Let
because remember they opened last month with strength. I think that is the card to hold on to.
Yeah.
This year, or this month, or this year, I guess. Open the year with remember the strength card. You catch more flies with honey, and that's a great way to sort of use that as the stuff that can, the good stuff that can create that metamorphosis, that butterfly, that judgment, that win-win.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
All right.
Scorpio, you're great. So, that said, can I blow my horns?
Yes, you can blow your horn.
Because it's almost, oh no, I'm caught up. 2015.
Yes.
We're waiting for 2015.
Yes.
And so please join us. We have some council cards down below that you will want to know all about going into the next year. They are our global predictions for each sign.
Yes.
Well done by Ava. And also the council card, which a lot of you have already subscribed to.
Oh, thank you for that. We appreciate your subscriptions, and you get a fairly good value for your money, we think, because you get all 12,
Yes, you do.
and you get the previous months as well. So you can kind of check your sign, your sun sign, rising sign, moon sign, and everybody else's sign too.
Yeah, it's a major arcana card, and Ava does a great job.
Spiritual counsel.
Yes. And then for those of you who really want to know everything about what's going on in your life, personally, we have personal readings.
Yes, which are in-depth and really exploratory of your life.
So you walk away with a great feeling.
Yes, and it helps you.
Yes.
So it unravels mysteries about what to do, how to do it, the motivations of people around you you may not quite fathom. You know?
So you just tap into spirit, and it's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing.
And so, that said, any more announcements?
No.
We really hope that you join us next month. Because
Yes.
next month is February, and it's the month of love, right?
Yes. It's the month of love.
And we're trying to cook up something.
Fabulous for you. Yeah.
So tune in.
All right.
And comment, subscribe, play us really loud in your cubicle. See you next year.
See you next year. Bye, Scorpio.
Tours here.
They do.
And they say there's a lot of
that was
activity. Oh, you just saw that on camera. Wow.
Yeah.
I kind of saw it too.
Thing.
Well, welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you for joining us.
I love it. I think it's
I
beautiful.
wonder what they want.
They're
Maybe
just
they're
enjoying.
just, we were talking about the women's right, maybe it's,
To the corner.
and I felt that there was a,
That was nice. I saw it too. So we have a little spiritual camera help.
thank you.
It's really sweet.
It was very sweet of you, and
Yes.
we did need a little adjustment.
Yeah,
So,
on the mic. So, we're a little freaked out. So